Coach Dan here from Rise Above, and I'm here to teach you how to do a double kettlebell hinged row. So we can do this one of two ways. We can either go narrow on our feet or wide on our feet. I'll show you both. I prefer narrow, but test them both. See which one you like better. So, as I say, I'm going to start with the wide foot one. So basically, you want to make sure that those feet are on the outside of our kettlebells. You're then going to go ahead and get into a hip hinge. You're going to grab those kettlebells and it doesn't matter if they start on the floor or if you're slightly off the floor. I prefer to be like this far off the floor, as you'll see in a second. Backs tend to round when you bring the kettlebells all the way to the floor because people can't reach them, but I digress a little bit. So we're here in our hip hinge, and say my kettlebell's slightly off the floor, and I'm pulling them into my armpits. And you're going to go ahead and go repeat on that. And that's how you do with the wide foot. Now let's go ahead, let's narrow it up where the feet are narrow and the kettlebells are on the outside of the body. So same thing though, we're taking the hips, we're hinging, and say, again, I like to take the kettlebells up and off the floor, and basically instead of to the armpits, we're bringing them up to the waist. Now I tend to find this one a little bit harder, that your range of motion is smaller. You saw that I wasn't pulling it as high. It's because I was pulling more to the hips than I was to the armpits. One isn't better than the other. Play around with it and figure out which one works best for you. Now let me go ahead and turn sideways just so you can see what this looks like from a side angle. I'm just gonna go with a wide foot because people tend to find the wide foot a little bit more comfortable for them. Like I said, it's just personal preference. So again, we've got that hip hinge, pulling the kettlebell slightly up and off the floor, and I'm pulling those hands up to those armpits, making sure that I'm keeping my back nice and flat through the movement. And that's how you do your double kettlebell hinged row.